What's up, guys? Just wanted to record a quick private market update. We're going to run through Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, XLM, ADA, VeChain, the Graph, Filecoin, Tezos, Solana, and HBAR. So remember, with the strategy and the indicator, we always want to turn it off at first, and we want to see what the market structure is telling us. So we want to look at the price action. So I turn off the indicator, right? And we know that Bitcoin has been in a bull market since kind of like March of 2020, where it had its bottom, then it's had a high right there, and then this was a higher low, higher high, higher low, then a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So we know that bullish market structure is higher highs and higher low, and bearish market structure is lower highs and lower lows, because we had a high right there, then a low, then a lower high, and then a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and we know that we were in a bear market during this time, and then we were in a bull market right now currently. So now that we know we're in a bull market, we're going to use the 1 day, the 2 day, the 3 day, and even the weekly chart to know when to sell, because we want to ride out the broader trend in a bull market, so we're selling closer to the absolute top, rather than if we were on the 12-hour and we're kind of selling out a little bit too early. So when we buy any dips in a bull market, we're going to scale back and go to a shorter time frame, so we can compensate for the dips in bull markets are bought up much quicker and they're short-lived. Like this dip was very short compared to this constant going up. So bull markets, there's more opportunities to sell. So that's why we go to the higher time frames for our sell signals. And in bull markets, the dips are very short-lived. So we're going to go down to like a 12-hour, 6-hour, and a 4-hour to know when to buy those dips. So now that we know that, we can turn on the indicator, and we're going to use the Heikin-Ashi candles, and we're seeing, and we remember that Bitcoin's king. So whatever Bitcoin decides to do, usually the altcoins are going to follow it. So we always want to look at Bitcoin first, right? So we see that we had some signals coming in here. So a lot of day signals, like sell signals on the daily chart for Bitcoin. So that's why we use the 1 day, 2 day, and 3 day, and the 1 week, and match multiple time frames, so we know we can sell the absolute top. So if we go out to the 3 day and then the 1 week, we can see that we're nailing the absolute top of when to sell for that confirmation, and then we'd go down to the lower time frames to know when to buy. So on the 2 day, the 3 day, the 1 day told us to buy there. So now we're kind of in this limbo stage where, are we going to turn over and roll over like this and go for another low? Or are we just going to find some support here and then head much higher? So that's what we're going to look at right now. So if I'm looking at Bitcoin, I'm going to go on the daily chart, and I'm going to turn the indicator off, and we're going to look at another few things. So I'm going to go with the regular candles for this, so we can label some support and resistance levels. So with the new indicator, the bonus one, the market indicator right here, we can turn that on, go to the settings, and we can click support and resistance lines, and it will automatically draw it in for us. So we see right here that the green dotted horizontal lines support, the red dotted horizontal lines is the resistance. So on the daily chart here, we came down and we tapped perfectly right on the support level. So we came down, we sold off that day, and we immediately found some buyers right at that support level that pushed the price all the way up. And by the end of the day, the price closed at 46,810. So remember how we're trying to identify the bullish market structure and the bearish market structure, and we did that on the higher time frames? Now we can do that on the micro time frames, and we can see, all right, are we forming bullish market structure, bearish market structure? Are we seeing any signs of reversal right now? So if we go here, and I'll go to like a 12-hour so we can get a better picture of it, we can see that we have a low, we have a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. But then we're seeing right now, we might be starting to form a lower low than this one back here. We're still higher than this one right here, but based off of these ones, we're going lower than that. So we at least need to find some support at this green dotted line right here. That's such a key area, because we can see in the past that, and I'll draw a couple more lines, that this was a level that we found a lot of support at and resistance. So we kind of came up to it here, we got rejected by it, then we came back down, and then we finally broke through it, support, and then we were traveling up here, and then when we finally broke through here, again, this kind of really went down a lot, and then rejected by it, and then rejected, and then we finally flipped it as support again, where support, support, support. So this is kind of the line in the sand here at 42,848, or we can even bring it down a little bit, like 42,500, where we really want to see Bitcoin hold above. Because if we don't see it hold above, where we do something like this, come down, maybe we bounce from here, and then we make a lower high, and then break through it and make a lower low, now we're really starting to change the market structure, where it could go down to these levels to retest, even down here, and that, in my case, wouldn't be a good scenario for Bitcoin. So what I'm seeing is nothing's really changed in the broader sense of the structure. We're holding still above these levels, where these daily closes, we're still making higher highs with the daily closes, besides right here. But so nothing really has changed for me in the sense of there's nothing to panic on. I had mentioned that we're gonna probably go sideways for maybe a week, couple days, maybe come back down, retest these lows, scare some people. But as far as I'm concerned, we're still hanging in there. So we've come down, we tested it again, got supported by it. I'd only start to get worried if we break through the 44,000 level and we hold under there for like a day or two, right? Because if we hold under there for a day or two, then it's likely that we're going to continue falling lower and going down to some of these levels. We really want to hold that 43,000 area, because if we don't, we're going to fall down lower and we might be changing market structure at that point. So nothing to be worried about right now, but just something to keep in mind looking at Bitcoin. So we can look at other trend lines and kind of areas where maybe there's some confluence to finding support right here, right? So we could do this with the trend lines, and we can see we kind of have multiple points where we touched, like here. See how we touched there, then touched there, then touched there, and then we kind of wrote it as support, and right now we're writing it as support. And this we can do like that, and we kind of had like a broadening wedge pattern, like kind of playing out here. We broke out above it, and now we're holding it as support. So that's a check mark that nothing has changed. We're holding above this line, and we want to see a hard bounce from it. Also, we're holding on to the horizontal support line, so we're all good in this area right here. We just don't want to see this close below 43,000 on a daily. So say like it does come down, but by the end of the day it closes back up above here, that's okay. We're looking for daily closes. Whatever happens on the hourly chart, 4-hourly chart, it's all noise. We want to look at the broader picture, because when you're in doubt, zoom out. So right now it's looking all right. We need to hold support right here and make our way back above 53,000, come back up, maybe retest 65,000. It'll be like this, where maybe we come up like this, kind of come down, make our way up, hold it as support, maybe we're resistance again, and then we keep heading higher. So that's what we want to look out for. If we do come back down here, we don't want to be here for long, because it's likely that we're going to fall lower, and maybe we'll come back down. We want to see certain levels hold as support. If not, it might be a waterfall down here. So that's what we want to look out for. So for Bitcoin, we're still good, nothing to worry about. And then let's look on like kind of the lower time frames, see if any buy signals are coming in. So we had a 4-hourly. Oh wait. 4-hourly, we're still waiting, no buy signal yet. Let's look at a 2-hour. We had a buy signal come in, or a 6-hour. So we're still waiting for the 4-hour, the 6-hour, and some of those bull market kind of buying indicators and time frames to flash. Still at this point, there's nothing. So we could pull up the indicators and see below here, do we see any crosses starting to happen though? So the TSI is starting to cross, the MACD is starting to cross, the stock RSI is starting to cross and head up. So if we can keep this momentum and start to push higher, maybe close above like 45,500 or 46,000 in the next 53 minutes, then these are likely to cross, and that will show us some good strength moving forward. Because if we look at the past times where these crossed right here and then we went up, Right there we went up. Right there we went up. So like the crosses here are what we want to look for. So Bitcoin still holding steady. It's all good. And we're going to go next to Ethereum. So we got Ethereum pulled up right here. Nothing to worry about with Ethereum as well. So if we pull these lines out, I'm going to do the support and resistance there. Yep. So as you see, Ethereum's looking a little bit stronger than Bitcoin because we came up, we had a low, and we came up, we had a low there, another higher low, this wick down right to this support zone perfectly, and we're making another higher low at the moment. That's what we want to watch out for. Then we had a high, higher high, higher high, and we're just kind of making this like, what's it called? Like a bull flag pattern, like this. And we can see that we're just traveling in this, and when we can break out of it, come out the top, we're going to be making a new all-time high, and things are going to start to heat up fast. So as far as Ethereum goes, we're still in the clear. It perfectly came back down to test the support line, and it immediately got bought back up, closed the daily above these past ones. This came back down, closed the daily kind of in line with this right here, and we want to see ourselves get back above the $3,300 level, $3,350, start closing some daily candles above there, and we'll see some continued movements higher. Let's check the 12-hour, 6-hour, 4-hour, see if any buy signals come in. So on a 6-hour, you have a buy warning coming in, right? So we're waiting for confirmation. So I'm going to double click here and see if we're going to see any crosses coming in soon. So on the TSI, we're starting to curl to cross. The MACD starting to curl to cross. Stock RSI starting to curl to cross. So it's looking like we're going to get a buy confirmation coming in on Ethereum here. Last time that happened was right here, right there. And then this was bear market territory, so that's why you see much more buy signals coming in. But when we're in a bear market for buys, we want to go on the 1-day, 2-day, 3-day. So you can ignore these. But we're in a bull market structure right now. So the 6-hour, 4-hour, and the 12-hour we're using for our buy signals to buy the dips. So the 6-hour is flashing a buy warning. Nothing on the 4-hour. Let's look at the 12-hour. 12-hour, it's flashing a buy warning. That's huge. That is huge. So if we can see on the 12-hour, this start to curl up, right there start to curl up, this start to curl up, and we see the blue confirmation flash, that's a good tell to me that Ethereum's going to start to head higher, break through the $4,000 level, and make a new all-time high, and start to pull the market up with the altcoins and really start to take off. So Ethereum, nothing has changed. We didn't make a lower low. See? See how it's just steady going up? It hasn't gotten lower. So nothing's changed with that. Nothing to worry about. Unless we come down here and break through, we need to hold this level. If not, we're gonna start to go down more. So we need to hold where we're at right now. We want to see the curling up over here in the indicators, and we want to see the blue line flash for the confirmation of buy. So that's what I'm seeing with Ethereum. And you can look to the past to predict the future. So kind of like what I'm seeing with Ethereum right now is if we take these other structures where kind of like I feel as if like we're in this zone with Ethereum. Because we had it come up, and then we had like a top right there like we did right here, and then it came down once and bounced like this, and then like that. Just like here, we bounced like this, and then that. And then we kind of had a grind up like this. And then we had a pump up like that, an immediate rejection back down, but it didn't go lower than these right here. And then we went up like this, pump up like that, came back down. We didn't go lower than these right here. So we might just see some ranging for a little bit, and then until we finally can able to break out. And then when we break out of this, it's going to be explosive. We're going to go from like $4,000 to $8,000 real quick, and it's going to happen maybe in October, and then things will really heat up November, December, where we can see Ethereum from $10,000 to $20,000. So that's what I'm seeing with Ethereum. Nothing to worry about. because we can even pull out trend lines and see. We're still just grinding on this trend line, right? Grinding on the trend line. If we were to come back down, break the trend line, then that's where I start to get worried. But as far as I'm concerned, nothing to worry about, right? So that's all good. That's Ethereum. Let's look at XRP. So at XRP, what I'm seeing, I'm going to go, yeah, the 1 day, or no, the 3 day. And we're going to look at the signals. We have no sell warnings or sell signals confirmations coming in on the 3 day. Let's look at the 2 day. We have a sell confirmation came in the other day. But where I feel as if like we are in the trend is if I can put it on the 3 day, I'm going to put the other indicator on. I'm going to put the settings on and put the buy and sell signals on. I'm going to take the support and resistance lines off. And we're going to take a look at it. So where I think that we're at, and I'm going to actually hide these while I show you. And what I think is this pattern is the same pattern that's playing out right now, right? So where I think that where we're at within this pattern, because we have top right here, then it goes down like that, and then it kind of pops up, comes back down. We had a top right here, comes down, pops up, comes back down, and then we had a move up like this, move up like that, and then we kind of break a trend line there and come back down. So what I see with XRP is we're gonna just be range bound for a little bit, but then as soon as we can get above that $1.40 level, break above like $1.50 with some strength, we're gonna rip up, kind of like what we did past back here, and every single time where we're at the tail end of this structure, right? So let me delete those, and I'm gonna show you kind of like where we're at with the indicator, because we can match up the indicators together. So we're looking at this pattern and this pattern, right? So we had a sell warning come in with the red line, and then the yellow line is sell confirmation. Just like right here, we had the sell warnings come in with the yellow line for the sell confirmation. Then we had this flash of sell too, the second buy and sell indicator, and then that flash of sell as well. So then we came down, and then we had the green buy soon with the blue confirmation to buy now. Just like here, we had the buy soon with the blue confirmation to buy now, with the second indicator buy signal coming in. Same with this second indicator buy coming in. So we know that this portion of the pattern is the same as this portion of the pattern. Then we came up and we kind of made like a trend line here where we were riding on it, which broke. And then it broke through with that second sell indicator flashing. Just like right here, we had this trend line coming up where we break through, and we had this second indicator sell sign flashing. Just like back here where we had it flashing, we didn't have the red or the yellow Stargate signals come in. Just like right here, we didn't. So that's where I believe that we're at in the trend, where we're gonna wait for the second indicator to flash a buy, and then we know that, all right, we're bottomed out and we're getting ready for the big kind of a move to come in here, where this was like 3.5 times our money. So at that point, that'll take XRP from like $2 to like over $7, maybe up to $10. So that's what I see with XRP. It kind of follows itself, the patterns, very well, and there's nothing really to worry about with XRP unless it breaks through this level over here. So I'm going to hide these. So this was a very important area because we came up to it, we're supported by it for a bit, then we broke through, rejected, then we finally came up, we were rejected at first, but then we broke through, support, and right now we're holding it as support. If we were to break through that level, that's at $1.03, $1.02, we can even go down, we'd probably go down to like 94 cents, or even like 87 cents, 88 cents. So I'm gonna go to a lower time frame so we can get some better looks at it, and this is what we're seeing. So yeah, nothing to worry about unless we break these levels and make a lower low, because we had the same kind of area where we're at, where we were supported by, is where we're at right now. So unless we break this and come down here, and then we break the 83-cent level, that's where you start to get worried. Right now, we're just, we're hanging above support. We're following the pattern to a T, like we were back in the day right here. Like we have that, and then it broke through. Then we have this, and it broke through. So that's why I think we're just gonna range like this, like we did back in the day. Gonna be like this, something like that, and then we're just gonna take off and go up to like $5, $10 level. And I feel as if this is not gonna be as elongated out, that it's gonna be more squished up like this, and it's gonna be more explosive of a move. So I think we're gonna see that, not this long sideways action where it goes on for a month, but more of like maybe a week or two. Then by the end of September, we're gonna really start to get up to the $2 level. And then by the early October, we're gonna break out like crazy. Because every single time you kind of hit this line right here, so that would kind of coincide that we would come up to these levels, and we may find some resistance in there, but that's next for us, because you're seeing that every single time it just gets bigger and bigger in the swings, right? So that's why I'm expecting a $6 to $10 XRP. The next stop, probably come back down, test the all-time high again, and then continue to go higher. So nothing to worry about on that end. We did not break any structures yet. We're looking at the lows to see, are we breaking them yet? No. So I also think too that patterns kind of repeat itself forward and backwards. So we can look here and we can do a vertical line kind of like in the middle, right? And actually, let me delete these first. So we put a line in the middle, and what's happening on the right side is actually what happened on the left side, just inversely. So this kind of pattern we're making where there's like a hill there, hill there, hill there. We can look over here and see, all right, so hill there, hill there, hill there. We can look and see, all right, we have a hill, hill, hill. And then this kind of came back down hard, just like over here, but then it shot up like this. So what I'm expecting is we're gonna see a shoot up like that, because what's happening in the future happened in the past is just in reverse, because we have these 2 points here, right? And then this point here, which is gonna be this point here. And then we're gonna shoot up, and that's gonna be this point with that point. And you know what I mean? So I feel as if more like the market is just repeating itself, and when it's bullish, it's in reverse, and when it's bearish, it's in the other way. So this was bearish right here, and now we're just doing the same thing, just in reverse, bullish. So that's what I'm looking at. So that's why I feel like there's nothing to worry about. So XRP, now we're going to XLM. Same thing with XLM, and you can even see it a little better on here with how what happened in the past is just happening in the future, just reverse. So I'll put a line in the middle, and then we'll see here that we have this point, then we came up like this, that, just how we came up like this, like that, and then we had our first top, and we kind of made these 3 humps, like this, and then we came back down to this level, just like we came back down to the same level. So I'll put actually a horizontal line there to show you that we literally touched the same level. Look at that. So we went up, then came back down to here, just like we did like that. And then so what we did after here was we just shot right up. So what I'm thinking is maybe we come down, maybe we test it one more time like we did back here, but then we really just shoot up like that back to these levels. And that's what I'm looking at for stellar lumens. But as far as I'm concerned, nothing's changed with that as well. We can put a support line, and that's an important area, so we obviously want to hold it, because we came up here, we were rejected by it, then supported by it, then supported by it, support, and we finally broke through, and then we really went down, and then we were rejected, then support, 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 and we're still supporting right now, so we want to see that hold. Now let's look at like the indicator. So we had a sell signal coming over here now, but we're in bullish market structure. So let's go to the lower time frames to see if any signals are flashing for buy. Not on the 6 hour, not on the 4 hour, not in the 12 hour. So we're waiting. Let's see if we on the 2 hour. So we already had a buy warning come in with the confirmation. So on the 4-hour, if we stay down here for a little longer, a buy warning on the 4-hour will probably flash, and then we'll wait for that confirmation blue to come in to know when to buy. But right now, nothing's changed. We're holding above the support like this, so we're good. You only want to worry if it breaks down through here and it closes the daily. So you could, on TradingView, just go to the right side and click add an alert for that price. And then if it breaks up past this previous high right there, you can add alert for that as well too. So then you're just notified. Instead of having to watch the chart all day, you can just know, all right, once it hits that level, it will send you a text message or a pop-up on your phone. If it goes to the upside, it will do it. If it goes to the downside, you'll do it. You won't have to be constantly watching your charts to know. So that's what we're looking at with stellar lumens. All good with that. Basically, it just came back down to test these areas where we came up. We didn't really get a solid test of it back then. So that's what we were just doing. So we're good on that front. And what you see with stellar is a lot of those wicks. Usually when you see a long wick like that down, it's usually indicating a bottom. Like this was a long wick down, it was a bottom. Long wick down, kind of like a short-term bottom. Bottom, 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 bottom. So that's what we're seeing right now, so that's what I'm expecting. So now we'll go to ADA. And we're starting to see ADA show some strength. We bought down here at like $1.25, and the sell signal came in at like $3, so that was like more than double your money. And since we're in bull market structure, let's see on that dip if there was any buy signals. We'll go down to a 4-hour, and we had a buy signal come in with a confirmation, and we're up since that point. I'm gonna go to the Heikinashi, and then let's check the 6-hour. 6-hour flashed a buy warning confirmation. Now I'll even check an 8-hour. 8-hour just recently flashed the confirmation, and now let's see on the 12-hour, nothing. But 3 out of the 4, they're flashing buy confirmations. Probably a good time to start buying ADA. We might see it start to run up and break this $3 area, and when it does that, it will really start to shoot up. So I'm gonna hide this, and let's look at the structure for a sec. So what I'm seeing with ADA is just a repeat of the past patterns, right? So we have that. We have this kind of thing playing out right there. Do a horizontal line again. We really held this level. We tried so many times to break through it, but it was supported by it. So that is a strong level on Cardano, that dollar price. So it's likely probably not going to fall through there again. So now I'll do like a trend line. And we saw that when we broke out of that, we just started to go. And basically we're just hanging out on top of these previous all-time highs, and we're kind of forming some support on it. And what we want to see is we want to get higher than this previous one to see continued movement. Let's go and look at the indicators down here, and I'm liking what I'm seeing on the 12-hour. We're seeing hard crosses up, hard cross up, hard cross up. It's likely Cardano is going to start running. Cardano is going to start running. Yep. So, and remember the Elliott wave theory. So let me pull this out, where we have like a where we had the one wave with the second wave being the corrective wave. Then we had the third wave with the corrective wave. And then we're waiting for one more impulse wave to come in on Cardano. So it's not done yet. Where this is going to end, who knows? But we have the indicator to tell us on the 3-day, the 2-day, the 1-day, the 1 week to know when to sell. But there is one more impulse wave in here for Cardano. So I'm seeing that Cardano could end up at $5 to $10 by the end of this year for sure. There's definitely one more impulse wave left in it, and it's already started to gear up and do the first wave, because within the impulse wave is the whole Elliott wave sequence as well too. So you have like, you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. And so we're in the 1 wave. So like this is what we're at in the 5th wave. So there's 2 more waves to go within this. So Cardano's going to head up. VeChain. What I'm seeing with VeChain is similar patterns playing out. So we're riding on the support line, so that's all good. If we break it, that's a no-go, but we're holding up above it, right? We're making an inverse head and shoulders pattern, so we'll put a horizontal line right there, and we see that we have shoulder, head, shoulder. We want to see this come back up, hold it as support, and we're going to start flying. So that's what we're looking out for V-chain. And if I were to compare that to like previous patterns within its chart, I'm comparing it more to this right here, because we went down like this, just like that, kind of like what we did up here, like that, and then we came up, right? Oop. Kind of like a support line there, another support line there. So like that. So when we broke out, we came back down just like the past to test this line. So that's what we're doing right now. I think that we're in the beginning stages of V-chain going off, where we had this triangle pattern that broke out to the upside, triangle pattern that broke up to the upside, and then we came up and we were kind of doing riding on a trend line here, where then we broke it, came back down, and then we were riding like on a trend line here, where we broke it, came back down, but then we popped up quickly and continued moving higher. So we want to see V-chain pop back up above the trend line, get above like 15 cents, and then if that happens, we're breaking out above this neckline in the inverse shoulder pattern, and we're going to start moving very high. And if we can do that, V-chain is going to be very strong. So let's look at the indicator and see if we see any crosses starting to come alive in these indicators. 12-hour and not so much. Let's look at the 6-hour. So the 6-hour is getting ready to cross for the TSI, the MACD, and the stock RSI has already started to cross up. So with V-chain, it's looking like we're going to see that pop up sooner than later. So that's what we want to look out for V-chain. If it breaks past below this like 10-cent level, maybe it'll come back down to like 9 cents, 8 cents, but I don't see that being in the cards. I think that it's going to pop back up, make its way above this resistance line, and then head higher. Now the graph, let's look at it. So we had this area right here where it was resistance at first, and then we came and broke through it, where we were rejected by it multiple times, and then we finally broke above it, tested as support, and we haven't closed the daily below it. So nothing has changed with the graph too. It kind of like really loves this level at where it's at right now, this like 80-cent level. We can hold above that, we're in the clear. If we break through the 80-cent level and head back down like through 70 cents, yeah, we might want to get out of the graph, because that's likely it's going to head lower. I do not foresee that happening. I foresee that we're going to hold this level where we're at right now and start to head higher, and then we'll break through $1.10, come back up here to like $1.35, and then start to head higher. So let's see if there's any buy signals happening on the smaller time frames. So on the 4-hour, we had a confirmation come in. 6-hour, nothing yet. Let's look at an 8-hour, nothing, and a 12-hour. Nothing. So we, as far as the graph's concerned, we just want to hold above this 80-cent level and continue higher with it, and then we'll be in the clear. So that's the graph. That's what I'm seeing. What I see as well too is it's like a repeat structure playing out, where we have back then we had this line where we started to get rejected by it, and we're moving at like a downward slope. Then we got above it, tested it once as support, tested it twice as support, just like how we finally broke out of this level, tested it once as support, twice as support, and then we had a massive move up like that. So that's what we want to see come out of the graph here. We want to see a move like this happen, where we can make a new all-time high, get up to like $5, and then we'll see if the indicator's flashing any sell signals. But as far as I'm concerned, market structure is still holding. we had our lows back here. We made a higher high past these ones over here. And right now, if we can hold this and make a higher low, direction is up. That's what we want to look for. And you can set alerts that if it breaks the 70-cent level, you're notified. And if it breaks the $1.10 level, you're notified, right? So now I'm going to go to Filecoin. So Filecoin has this kind of support trend line building right there, and then we're making higher highs with higher lows, so nothing has changed with that as well. Just like how I said, what's happening in the past is repeating in the future. This pop-up right there is the same little pop-up right there. We might just move a little bit sideways for a bit, but then we're gonna have a move like this right here where we just pop all the way up. So it might be going sideways, and then we pop up back to these levels, just like how we did back here where we popped up to the same levels, and then we went on one more run up. So we'll pop up to here, and then we'll go on one more run up, probably to the $500 to $1,000 level with Filecoin. So this is an area where it was support and resistance, and we're holding out support right now. So where I think we're at as well too is we can compare it to the past trends and the patterns, and we're looking here, and we're seeing kind of like, let's go to it right here. Oh, what I wanted to do is this. So on the daily chart, right? Let me go to 3-day. So we had a 3-day buy confirmation come in there, and we had a sell confirmation come in at the top. So if we look at this pattern, sell confirmation came there, buy warnings, buy confirmation, sell confirmation come there, buy warnings, buy confirmation, then we came up, popped up, and then we came down and tested this level, and then we came down and test this level. So what's in store is a big move for Filecoin as well too, because if I go out to the 1-day time frame, we can see that we had a sell warning and a sell confirmation. Just like here, we had a sell warning and sell confirmation before falling down, holding this level as support, just like we're doing over here. And that's what I'm saying. The same patterns are playing out. Right now, it's just playing with the zone because it wants to scare people and panic them out of their positions. But what's in store is just a lot of strength to the upside. So that's what I'm seeing with Filecoin. If it comes back down and breaks through the $70 level, 67, 65, 66 level, 70 to 66, we might want to get out of Filecoin, because then it's likely it's going to head down way lower. So we can set our alerts, and then we can set alerts for if it breaks to the upside, and then we'll be notified and we don't have to constantly check the chart. Now I'll go to Tezos. Right now we're seeing with Tezos, we had a sell confirmation, a couple on the daily come in. I'm going to go to the 2-day, the 3-day. So on the 3-day, we have a sell warning, no confirmation yet. On a 2-day, let's see. Sell warning, no confirmation yet. So I'm going to sell out some Tezos. Once I see a 2-day confirmation and a 3-day confirmation come in, maybe let's even check the weekly, and nothing yet. So yeah, we're going to check the 3-day and the 2-day. We'll set alerts for it, for the sell confirmation on there. Let's look at the indicators, see, all right, the red line still headed vertical to the upside, the MACD still headed vertical to the upside, the stock RSI is crossing back up. It didn't cross through the purple kind of zone like it did in the past where it started to tank down. So right now, that's what we're looking at. It still has some room to go. The 2-day, it started to cross down, but it saved itself, just like there, saved itself. So it's looking like it wants to keep heading higher. It's showing some strength. The 1-day, it crossed back down, but now we're starting to cross back up on both these, and then the stock RSI is starting to show some momentum to the upside. So we're not worried with Tezos. I'm thinking that it's going to keep moving higher, a lot of buy volume coming in, and then we just want to see us break through. We want to break through the $7.65 level. We'll start to head higher. We don't want to break back down through like $5 because then we're going to start heading lower again. So that's why we want to watch out for Tezos. Tezos looks like it wants to pull what Algo did the other day. Let me see. Where Algo kind of dipped down and was bought up very quick, and then it started to make new all-time highs. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Tezos at about $12, maybe even $20 later this year or in the short term. We can see we're constantly touching that support line on the bottom, and then we're constantly hitting this resistance line on the top. Then you can even draw like a middle part here where the other point's gonna hit. And that's where we need to head up to. We're heading up into these zones. We're probably gonna hit $10 to $12 before finding some resistance come in. So I'm gonna go to Solana next. Ooh. So Solana, I've kind of found this broader trend. So like you can really see like what's going on if you zoom out. So I'm gonna turn this off and I'm gonna do a trend line, and we see that Solana is right now up to that trend line. This is a trend line that started in April of 2020. So every time it came up to it, it was rejected by it, and right now that's the point that where we're at. So this pattern is like an ascending inverse head and shoulder, because we have a shoulder, head, shoulder. If we can break out above this and hold it and start to go higher past that point, it's likely Solana is going to take off crazy. But it's more likely that we see some resistance and some price weakness come in at these levels, because we're hitting this multi-year kind of trend line that every time we've hit it, it's been rejected by it. So let me see. And you can already see that's playing out right now. So you see we came up to it, and now we're starting to see some red candles come in. Let me go to the Heikin Ashi. And is it starting to switch from green to red? On the daily chart, yes, in 20 minutes it's going to close. But let's look at the 2-day and the 3-day. 2-day still all green. So maybe we'll wait till the 2-day and the 3-day to flash the sell confirmation signals. 3-day, it still hasn't flashed yet. The MACD, the blue line still headed vertical. Same with the TSI. Stock RSI is still up in the zone. That's all good. Let's look at the 2-day. 2-day still headed vertical, still in the zone, still good. And then the 1-day. So the 1-day we're starting to see a cross down, but the MACD is still headed up. Stock RSI headed down. Last time it did that, headed down to the zone. We found some price support there and still headed up higher. So we can start to see Solana show some price strength, get above the $200 level. It's likely we're going to head much, much, much higher. So that's what we're looking out for. And then I'm going to delete this for a sec. Then we have like kind of this trend line here playing out that it's likely if we break that, we're going to see prices fall way back down, maybe to $100. If that's the case, we're going to scoop up a lot of Solana. So that's what you want to watch out for Solana. And then lastly, H-bar. Oh, let me bring that back. So H-bar is close to making a new all-time high. We have this resistance level that we're basically up on right now. So if we can break out above like 38, 39, even hold above 40 cents for a couple of days and close above there, it's likely we're going to see H-bar rip up. Because this is like flagpole, then we had a bull flag down, and now we're kind of heading back out of it. And if we can break out, it's likely we're going to see H-bar over $1, maybe in the $2 zone. We can throw some Fibonacci extension on it, see where it may end up. So we can see it 66 cents, $1, $1.32, $1.53. Those are more conservative targets. We can pull this up higher. We can easily see H-bar at $2.35, $3.72, $5, or $6. So H-bar is looking stronger than some of these other coins here, where last time where we broke out of the previous high, we came back down, tested it real quick, came back up, tested again, and then we ripped up. So maybe we'll see the same thing happen with H-bar, where we break through this level, come back down once, test it, break out a lot higher, test it again, and then we really start to go. And that's what I'm expecting with H-bar. H-bar is looking pretty solid right now. It's only like a 3 billion market cap coin, but it has a lot of strong fundamentals around it. So it's one that I really like. So this is looking really good with H-bar right now. But also we got to look at Bitcoin, see what Bitcoin's doing, because if Bitcoin's going to roll over, probably H bar will get rejected by here and come back down, maybe retest the support line and then start to head higher. So that's what we want to watch out for. So let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's see where we're at. 6 hour, we're headed back down to the zone. See how the 6 hour already, it was starting to curl in, but now it's curling back out. Same with the MACD. That's not what we want to see. We want to see this really curl back in, show some strength, and cross over. Right now, it's looking like we may retest those lows a little bit again. So on the 1 hour, we may come back down. In 17 minutes, we'll probably come back down, test like 44,000, and then maybe we'll pop back up. And then it's going to shake everybody out. Everybody's thinking, oh, it's going to tank, and then it'll pop back up with a lot of aggression. Kind of like back here, where when Bitcoin was at this stage where it was making these lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and this, everybody's like, oh, the sky's falling, we're going to sell out, and then all of a sudden it just popped up on you. Same kind of scenario I think is going to play out right now with where we're at with Bitcoin right now. We may come back down, test that $43,000 level one more time, and then really shoot up out of here. And that's what we want to see if we wanted to see continued upside. If we stay down here at these levels for a while and we're showing a lot of price weakness, it's likely we're going to fall through it and then come back down, retest like 38,000 or 40,000, 42,000. So that's 42,000 is probably 43 is like where we're going to come back down, test one more time, and then start heading up. But we really need to hold that level. That's a strong level of support that if we break through it, now it's going to be that much harder trying to, because it will be resistance. So we'll have a much harder time getting back through it. So we want to hold it and then head higher and then break this resistance so we can get to the next one. And then after that next one, it's sky's the limit for Bitcoin. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. If you have any questions, you can reach out, and I will see you in the next video or the one-on-ones next week.